guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a little bit of a different video. I'm a little bit nervous to film this video. I don't really know what this video is going to be. I don't really know how it's going to turn out. I've never really done a video where I've just kind of sat down and talked about how I feel or shared kind of an in-depth view on personal things. I guess, yeah, it's quite scary and I don't really know how this video is going to go. I just wanted to create quite a relaxed video and kind of like a chit chat video where I'm just basically going to talk about my experience with self-love and body confidence, kind of where I was before I found self-love and body confidence, which wasn't too good, and then where I am now and how I've gotten here and how I practice self-love and how I practice body confidence. I hope that you guys can have a little bit of an insight into my sort of self-love journey, because I talk about self-love at the end of almost all my videos, which is something some of you may not know about if you don't make it to the end of my videos, which I don't blame you, because those videos, some of my videos can be very long and rambly. My hauls, my fitness videos, I always try at the end to do like a few minutes of self-love talk, because self-love is a huge part of my life. It's a huge part of my life and it completely changed my life. It changed my happiness, it changed who I am as a person, it changed everything about me. Finding self-love and finding body confidence. So it's something that I love to talk about and I love to share and I love to try and get other people into practicing. I've got my phone here and I've got some notes on my phone. So if I am looking at my phone, I'm just looking at the notes I've written. I did like loads of little notes on what I'm going to talk about. So the first thing we're going to talk about is I'm just going to tell you a quick backstory on before I found body confidence and self-love. So if we go back a few years ago till before I met James, before I started my social media, way before, I've always been a confident person. You know, I've always been confident in groups of people and things like that. Like I haven't been overly shy or anything like that. Like my personality was confident. But there are a lot of things about me which I think is normal a lot of the time, which made me inside very unconfident and very insecure and would struggle a lot with people's opinions on me. I think a big one that I had was people's opinions. I always cared so much about what people thought of me. It's human and it's normal to care about how people view us and what people's opinions are on us. Which is fine, that's fine up to an extent, but when you let it control your life and when you let it get you down and when you let it really take over, that's when it can be really damaging and really unhealthy. So when I first met James, I think this became very apparent to myself how insecure I truly was. I never actually thought of myself as super insecure or super unconfident. I didn't kind of think that I needed to work on anything until I met James. So James was and is an amazing person. He is the most amazing person I've ever met, and I can honestly and truly say with all my heart that if I hadn't met him, I just don't know whether I would have found self-love. I don't know whether I would be where I am now and as happy and as confident as I am now. So basically, the beginning of my relationship with James, all of my relationship with James has been amazing, but the beginning was a little bit more tricky because of my issues with self-confidence. So I used to care so much about what James thought of me. If he would say, I remember I used to argue with him all the time because he used to say, oh, I prefer you, you know, without makeup. Obviously, that's a good thing. He prefers me without the makeup. No, that wasn't okay for me. I'd get so stressed out on days that I wore makeup, I wouldn't look at him and I was like proper insecure about anything that like he would say, you know, oh, I prefer it, you know, oh, I'm just not, you know, he'd say things so casually because James is a very confident person in himself, and so he didn't really realise that it would affect me in that way. He would say things like, oh, and I don't like frilly clothes, and so when I'd wear like my frilly top, I'd be like, no, don't look at me, I'm wearing a frilly top, like just don't look at me, like you don't like frilly tops, like just stop, like you won't fancy me in my frilly top. Like it was just like, I needed to stop, you know? I was so focused on how people thought of me. I lost all my confidence. And when you lose your confidence and when you feel insecure like that, like, you lose your beauty towards someone. Like, James always say, when I feel confident, even if I'm wearing the frilliest thing in the world and I'm wearing a full caked face of makeup, if I'm happy and if I'm confident, then he finds me truly beautiful. And so I only learned that way along the line. So I spent a lot of the beginning of our relationship very insecure about how I was coming across to him, about all the things, and it wasn't just him, it was everyone, you know? Over time, realised how much I was letting it affect my life and how much it was getting me down, and other people's opinions and views on me and views on myself, so how I viewed things that I hated about myself, so my insecurities, and always focusing on them so much, and everything was just bringing me down slowly and slowly as I sort of started going to uni and stuff, and as I started my fitness account and got into fitness. I really did realise that I needed to change my views and my thoughts on myself and people's other opinions on myself and how I dealt with everything like that. So another backstory is that I used to I do have a lot of insecurities, and I think that's something that people get confused about when you talk about, oh, I love myself and I have self-love for myself and I have body confidence, and I think people think that you don't have insecurities and that you've dealt with all your insecurities and that they've gone, when it's not. It's honestly, well, for me it's not. It's an ongoing process, and it means that those securities don't control my mind and how I view myself, but they're still there and they're very deep and they're built within us, and it's hard to get rid of them fully, and we got to practice that. So just to give you a little insight into my main insecurities, so I would say my main insecurities, who knows why we have insecurities and why they arise, but my nose was a massive, and still is, insecurity of mine. Let me give you an example of how bad, my whole family will confirm for this one for you. I wanted a cute little, I wanted a nose like this basically. I wanted a nose that sloped up and was like really cute. We don't need to go into details of why everyone views everything differently, and I just don't know. I just wanted a cute little button nose. I don't know. I used to, when I was about probably 14, I want to say, or maybe even 16, I used to get a bit of cloth and I used to tie it around my head in front of people. Clearly wasn't that, you know, embarrassed about it. Tie it around my head and hold my nose like that in hope that it would just stay like that. And I think that just shows how kind of obsessed I was with changing the way I looked. I hated my nose and I wanted to change it as much as I could. I wanted it to be gone. I didn't want it to be on my face. I remember saying, can't wait till I'm 18, gonna get a nose job. Like, it was just one of those things that I hated about myself and I wanted to get rid of, and I didn't want to have on my face, my nose. That was one example. Now, I could list off my insecurities for a while, but the other main ones were probably my skin. I've had eczema from as long as I can remember, and I've had honestly, the last few years my eczema has been like, I literally barely have it. You look at me now, you can't see my eczema. My eczema has been amazing, and I don't want to jinx that, because honestly, before I started with social media and through certain times in my life, my eczema has been really, really bad. And the actual eczema itself, I was never that self-conscious of. I didn't mind when it was flared up and all over my face, like, I didn't mind. The thing that I'm self-conscious of is the steroid creams that I've used on my skin. I may have used and abused them. So when you have an eczema flare-up, the steroid cream gets rid of it really quickly, so I just be like smothering myself in steroid cream. Little did I know that the steroid cream actually loosens your skin. So I have very loose skin in certain places, like my armpits and my neck and my face, and other places on my body, not so much my face. People often say, like, why does your neck like roll so much, like when you're like making expressions and stuff? Like, why does it all roll up so much? Or like, why are your armpits so wrinkly when you take selfies? Like, yeah, big insecurity of mine, my rolly skin, my wrinkly skin. You know, it's just a big one. I'd love to get rid of it if I could, but actually self-love was the answer in the future. We'll go on to that in a bit. Anyway, other things, my legs. I've always been built with bigger legs, nowhere near as big as I've built them now. Clearly love big legs now because now they're huge. But I've always been built with bigger legs, and I've never been a skinny person, so like I've never had a super slim physique. When I was younger, I wanted very skinny legs, I wanted to be skinny all over, and so I went through a big phase of, when I was about 16, This was actually just when I was about, like, around the time I met James. I was obsessed with losing weight, being super skinny, and so I would do diet shakes, I would try everything under the sun, and I wanted to buy these things online which filled up your stomach with like gels to stop you eating. I wanted to buy appetite suppressants, all of this stuff. And I hope now, when you hear about things that have been in my past, that you can see why I like to promote self-love and why now I like to talk about fitness and all of those things, because once I found out how to deal with things and do things properly and do things healthily and do things in a way that treated my body in a nice way and it was good for my mind, I just wanted to share all that with everyone. So that's where my social media platforms came from, which are to do with fitness and then clothes and then self-love and everything like that. So basically, I had a bit of issues, like I'm sure loads of other people have, with different things before I found self-love. So I don't really have any like defining point where I thought, right, time to find self-love, and it happened. It kind of happened over time, and that bit gets a little bit blurry as to when it started happening and when I started practicing it. But over the past, I would say 2 years, a year mostly, I have really practiced and preached self-love, and it came from when I started to get anxiety, probably about 2 years ago now. I started to develop anxiety, and I got very into mindfulness. I bought lots of books off Amazon, and like I would read them all the time, and it was about appreciating the wider world and setting yourself back into where you are in the world and how many other people there are around you. These are the sorts of things that really helped me with my anxiety, remembering that I am such a small fish in a huge pond. The world is, you know, whether I'm having the worst day in the world is still ticking on, the world is still going round, and I just need to get my way through. I just need to get myself to bed. I need to keep looking after myself. I need to shower myself, brush my teeth, get into bed and keep getting on with my life and ticking on, because the world is going on and so can we. I love that saying, the world will keep going and so can we. Every single person has such an individual story that is going on in their lives right now, and we just have ours, and that's okay. We just need to keep living it and keep learning and keep growing. And so learning about mindfulness, about the world, I think actually sort of ticked a bit in my brain about how you don't need, there really is no need to strive for perfection, because one, there is no perfection, and two, why do we need to strive for perfection? Like, why do I need to have why do I need to change the way I look to make myself more perfect? And I know it's really difficult, because obviously I wear makeup and I wear fake tan and I do all stuff like that, so like, where do you draw the line and stuff? But I think really it's just it's not about that. It's not about changing yourself or not changing yourself or whatever. It's about being able to look at who you are and look down at yourself and look down at your body and look down at your face and look at your face in the mirror and say, and be proud of yourself and be happy and love yourself for, yeah, the way you look, because you look like a queen, but also the other things, the fact that you're a human, that you're living, that you lived, that you've experienced life, that you're going on with life, that you've got things to do and you've got an amazing life, and we are so lucky to be here on this planet. So anyway, I end up rambling a bit. I need to stay on track. But basically, let's go through some things to remember. So what I try and remember when I'm practicing my self-love. So the first thing I try and remember is that every single person is different. Every single person comes in different shapes and different sizes, and we are all so different. We look so different. We act so differently, and that's the whole beauty of the human race. Like, why do we look at other people and want to look like them? Why do I look at Selena Gomez and say, I want that nose on my face now? Like, why? Why do I do that? Why can't I appreciate that actually I look my way? I am me. This is how I was born, and this is my nose, and it's cool. I like it. The next thing I try and remember is we don't look the way we do to other people. Now, this is a difficult one to wrap your head around, but when you focus so much on your insecurities, so when I focus so much on my nose or my skin or my lips or anything that I'm focusing on and that I hate about myself really plays in the forefront of your mind when you look in the mirror. So whatever your insecurity is, when you look in the mirror, your mind, your brain, your eyes are going to be attracted to that part of you. And so those stick out and they deform the way you feel and the way you look and the way you are and the way you present yourself. Like, it all changes how we come across to ourselves in the mirror, the way we feel about ourselves inside. So we've got to remember that when we look in the mirror and we say, oh my gosh, I just noticed my nose, like straight away, like it just pokes out so much. When someone else looks at us, it's very rare that they're going to sort of pick up on those things straight away. And I know it's hard to believe because you're just there like, but it's so obvious, like it's the one thing that's just so ugly about me. People don't look at us like that. And if they do, then they've got their own things they need to work on, and they've got a lot of kind of sort of people that judge other people for the way they look or say horrible things about how people look. They're often just dealing with their own insecurities and their own hurt and their own things going on inside. Okay, another thing we need to remember is that we personally, each and every person looks different because of where we've been and what we've been doing in our lives. Our life story is a massive, massive journey up to how we look and how we feel and how we present ourselves. Everyone has their own story going on behind the scenes, their own life story to tell, and I think this one relates to me and to others probably, especially to body confidence and the way we look at our bodies. And I think people can get very angry at themselves and have a lot of hate towards themselves for letting themselves get a certain way. So especially with weight gain or fat gain, people can kind of say or feel that, you know, they've got a new job, they're very stressed and they've put on all this weight and they feel angry at themselves, or they've had a baby and they just can't seem to bounce back into shape. Why do we feel the need to be so hard on ourselves and so hateful towards ourselves all the time? We never think about things. This is me as well. Oh yeah, this is me all the time. We never think about things in a positive way. We never look at the way that our bodies have changed and be like, I've just had a baby and I've changed my body shape to give birth to my child. So go you, mama, because I have not had a baby, so I haven't been through that yet. But I hear that a lot. I have a lot of DMs on things like that. Firstly, I want you to be mother freaking proud that you're a mother. You're a mother. You have a child. So you've just done one of the most beautiful, magical things on the planet. Please don't hate yourself or your body for that. Or whether your child is now grown up and you still haven't bounced back to shape. Please don't hate yourself for that. Please don't hate ourselves for anything. Whether we've gotten super stressed about starting school or starting work, or we're going through rough times, we're going through down times, and we're emotional eaters and we've eaten, too much. Yes, okay, we've probably put on more fat than we needed, or we don't look the way that we want to look. That's okay. Self-love is not about looking down at yourself and saying, oh gosh, yeah, I've put on, way too much weight, but no worries, I'm a queen. Yeah. 1, we are a queen still. 2, yeah, we love ourselves. We have to have love and respect and acceptance, and we are still enough, and we are more than enough in whatever body shape we're in, whatever stage we're at, whatever. But the point is, you can still want to change the way that you look and change your body shape and make change. Like, that is okay. We always need to make changes to our body in kindness and love towards ourselves. The more hate you have towards yourself, the more you wake up and say, ew, I look gross, let's go to the gym. It's just such a negative, and I'm saying this because I have seriously been there for a long time, where I'd bloat or get up or look a bit more fat than I used to and be like, oh my gosh, I hate myself, I need to go to the gym. We need to get out of that mindset as quickly as we can, and we need to relate things to life and to experiences and to just stop hating ourselves and start actually doing things out of love and knowing that it's okay to want to change the way we look, but there is really no need and there's no benefit of hating ourselves or being destructive and self-destructive towards ourselves, because at the end of the day, you are an amazing human, you are unique, you are special, and you are living. So life's looking good, and we just need to keep accepting ourselves and appreciating ourselves as well as making changes if that's what we want to do. I also think another really important thing is that you may find, I certainly did, that you can't actually fully accept love from other people until you find self-love for yourself. So this is, again, like me and James at the beginning of our relationship. Things that he would say and I would just be like, oh no, I'm so ugly now. Or whatever. You can't accept and appreciate people's love and create such amazing connections, I feel, until you can accept yourself, until you can truly love yourself. Okay, so now we're just going to brush over some things that we should practice. I think one thing to stress is that self-love is most certainly a journey, and there are certain things that trigger me back to square one with how I view myself. And I was watching a video the other week about a nose job, and it really triggered me back into like hating my nose for like a while, and I don't want that to come across as me sort of thinking anything about anyone who wants to get anything done, any cosmetic surgery. Like, when I view the video, I know that anything I feel like being triggered and feeling hateful towards myself, that is all to do with me. That all comes from within me. That is not anyone else's fault. That is not that girl's fault who has had a beautiful nose job. Who's had a nose job. I have no issue with people having cosmetic surgery at all. Like, I don't even know. It's everyone, like I say all the time, everyone's on their own journey and everyone has their own life. Like, I do not have a problem with that. Loads of my friends have had cosmetic surgery and I don't I don't care. They're all on their own journey and I love it and I'm happy for them, and I'll get excited for their new whatever they're having. Like, they're on their own journey and that's freaking fine. Like, seriously, what is the point in being judgmental and being like that towards anyone? I just don't get it. Like, so this is not like that at all. This is just me sitting here saying this one certain thing has triggered me and I need to now deal with that myself, and I need to focus on how I'm viewing myself and what I can do to try and get back to where I was before and how I was feeling before. And it's not always easy. It can be so easy to be hurtful towards ourselves and to be, lol, why am I getting emotional? I don't know. I'm not gonna cry though, because lol, I'm definitely not. Oh my god. Whenever I get emotional, I always just like try and laugh it off and I'm like, lol, definitely not crying, lol. Definitely, lol. Okay, what to practice? Let's just move on. So yeah, what I was saying was it can be really difficult to practice self-love. So what I want you to know is that if you're struggling and if you are finding it almost impossible, then please know that join the club. Like, it's not an easy thing. It's not something we can switch on. So it does need practice, and it needs a lot of practice, and it needs a lot of, like, come on, push through, keep doing it. And also, I don't want you to feel like a failure if things just can't, if you can't seem to accept certain things about yourself. Like, you are never a failure, and this is one thing that I will drill into all of you for as long as I can, because I drilled it into myself, that we are enough. Whether we practice self-love every single day of the year and we still can't do it, we still have so much hate for ourselves, and we still whatever feel this way, like, I just want you to always know that whatever you're going through, whatever is happening in your life, that you are always enough. You are enough. You are seriously always enough. Because I think what I feel, and a lot of my insecurities and a lot of my anxiety and a lot of my issues came from not feeling good enough. I didn't feel good enough for my friends, I didn't feel good enough for my family, I didn't feel good enough for anyone. Like, I was just me, but I wasn't quite good enough in so many different ways, and I just needed to change those things and then I'd be perfect for everyone. No. And I'm also the type of person that once I change one thing, then I'll have another thing I want to change, then I'll have another thing I want to change, then I'll have another thing I want to change. Whereas I just need to take a step back and focus from within and practice my self-love. The next thing to practice is to do everything and be everything and practice everything for yourself. The only person that lives your life is you. Boyfriends, fiancés, husbands, Everyone around us, family, friends, they're all so important to us, and they are such important parts of our lives, and they deserve such an important part in our lives. And it's not that their opinions don't matter and that we should just ignore everyone that says anything negative about us. It's that we need to take in those opinions. We need to not let those opinions get us down. We need to appreciate other people have opinions, because once you start appreciating opinions and understanding, okay, that's fine, you feel that way, no worries, you can be yourself and love yourself. I can fully appreciate people's criticism, even if it's from family and friends. I can take it on and I can say, I'm happy. I'm really happy with the way I am and who I am and what I'm doing, and I love myself. So thank you for your opinions. I appreciate that, and I'm still going to continue being who I want to be, because I'm the person who's got to live my life, and I'm the person who is me, basically. The little phrase, you could be the ripest peach in the whole world and there's going to be someone who doesn't like peaches. Seriously, I cannot stress that enough. Anyone that you try and be, anything that you try and be, any way you try and change yourself, any way you try and be hard on yourself and think you should be something else, there is seriously going to be someone, multiple people, who do not like that new version of you, who do not like the old version of you, who do not like the 3 times on versions of you. Any version that you be of yourself, there's going to be someone who doesn't like it. So you're better off really thinking deep down who you want to be and being that person. Always try and say, if you are being healthy and you are being safe, then be who you want to be, you know, as long as you're not putting your life at risk, and as long as you're sort of treating yourself right and you're doing okay, then really you've got to be who you want to be. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, which I know I've talked to about a bit already, is just to every day or whenever you're struggling, I want you to hear my voice in your ear. I want you to just take a second, just look down at yourself. I'm doing it right now. I want you to look down at yourself. I want you to take 3 breaths in and out, and I want you to just accept yourself. I want you to just look at yourself and just accept yourself. Stop looking away from the mirror. Stop avoiding yourself. Stop thinking, oh, I'll love myself once I've gone to the gym and lost 10 pounds. Look down at yourself and accept yourself, because you're sitting here now and you are you. You're sat here, whatever place you're at in your life, however you've got here, I don't want to know. I just want you to know that you deserve to be accepted by yourself, and you deserve to know that you are so enough for anyone and everything. You are capable, you are human, we are beautiful, and I want you to accept yourself, and I want you to feel blessed to be alive and to be you. Okay guys, that video went super quick. Wow, I think I've been recording for like an hour, and honestly that went so quick. I am so passionate, so passionate about self-love. I'm so passionate about body confidence, and please feel free to leave your opinions and stuff in the comment section, but please do remember, this is a massive thing, that I wanted this video to be a chit chat video. The reason I was very anxious to make this video is that I am not a public speaker. I am not, I don't have any qualifications in self-love or psychology or anything, so I don't want to you know, be held responsible for giving the wrong information or saying things, stupid things or whatever. So I just want you to know that this is just my opinions and my processes and my things that have gone through my head and my journey to help me. So this is all personal, and it's all what I've been through and what has helped me, and I just thought if I could share that, then maybe it would help someone else. So I do really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next week. It feels weird not doing a little self-love talk at the end of my videos, but this whole video was a little self-love talk, so I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope it helped someone. And I will see you guys next week. I love you so much, and you are enough. Bye guys. Mwah.